rested several big names tonight. Let's hope it doesn't come back and bite them as it did Wigan against the Vikings recently. The back line, Rhys Williams plays on the wing. Gareth O'Brien replaces Lee Briers against the club that he was on loan with last week. Up front, Adrian Morley, Trent Wardhouse, Simon Griggs, they're all held back for Monday in France. Ben Curry takes a place in the second row. Chris Hill gets a start, and Chris Bridge is at loose forward. On the bench, Paul Wood, Mike Cooper, Tyrone McCarthy, they've got plenty of experience. Brad Dwyer is a substitute for the 4th time this season. Well, Widnes had to make changes really after their mauling in Perpignan. Sean Briscoe is injured though, Cameron Phelps at full-back. Patrick Arban is back after missing the last 4. Danny Craven also returns. Up front, Dave Allen continues his ever-present record for them. Look out for John Kite in number 18. He's 6'5" tall, weighs 18 stone. You can't really miss him. On the bench, Kurt Haggerty is back after missing the last 6. And young Alex Gerrard gets his first Super League appearance. So the Widnes Vikings, first time they have faced Warrington in Super League for 7 years. Coming into the back of this game on the back of a 76-6 defeat in Perpignan. The 70-point margin is an unwanted club record. And as they come, they're conceding an average of 46 points a game this year. They've conceded 73 tries, 416 points in the first 9 rounds of the season. They're first in Super League since 2005, and well, Warrington are red hot into the match on the back of their first home weekly round Super League defeat, though, in 9 months against St Helens last Friday. They won 22-20 in Wigan 2 weeks ago. They were blown away in 22 minutes against the Saints, 22-0 down in as many minutes. James Child is the big match referee. And we're about to get underway with Warrington in their traditional colours, going from right to left, and Widnes in the change strip of all red. And here we go with the kick-off then for Warrington. And it's the boot of Gareth O'Brien. He gets us underway, and this is a big test for the Widnes Vikings.
Certainly is, but a nice offload there. They realised, and oh, it's called hell, so this will be handed back to him. It's the new interpretation of the law this year. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Widnes, realising that they really got hammered by the French side. They'd already called held, and the official James Child, but Warrington, of course, remember Widnes, they pulled off a shock against Wigan, when Wigan rested quite a few, but that is great defence by the Wolves.
And the ball is stolen, it's a penalty to Widnes. It was a big hit by Carvel, Westwood was in there as well. The ball was stolen in the tackle.
Very aggressive defence from Warrington. You know, Widnes have been a little bit unlucky in the last week or so, playing against Catalan after they'd lost the game, and then coming here now to play with Warrington again after they've been defeated by St Helens. And you've seen with the aggression that Warrington have shown early in that defence, they're up here to inflict some pain.
That's John Kite, and he played the ball there to Scott Moore. He gets it away. Widnes, bottom of the table. Warrington this time last week, of course, was sitting top of the table. Here's Rhys Hanbury, and he gets the ball away. It's Dave Allen on the charge, dumps it down. They retain possession. They're asking for another set of 6 here. It's not forthcoming from the referee. Drive in here by McGrath Luluai.
It's good work by Widnes. They really are up in the tempo. They're not frightened, that's for sure.
Hanbury trying to dance his way through this resolute and solid Warrington defence. It's the last tackle here for Widnes. Kick into the corner from Danny Craven. And they're going to get a repeat 6, are they? I think that Joel Monaghan cannot get out of trouble, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. It's a very promising start for the Widnes Vikings.
It certainly is, and under pressure there, Patrick Arban. Then Willie Isa puts his weight to it. Finnegan was in there. That's good play. It's a nice little chip over into that left-hand corner by Danny Craven. Just what the doctor ordered, or Dennis Betts ordered anyway, the Widnes coach. They needed to apply the pressure, and they've certainly done that. It'll settle their nerve.
You mentioned the fact that they lost the game by 70 points last week. You know, 30 minutes into the match in France, Widnes were clearly in it. They were down by 12 points to 6 and had a try disallowed. they again started with some confidence, even though that final scoreboard in France was a shocker.
Pep Cahill will take the ball forward, and Moore is the man at dummy half once again. Little run from him, gets the ball away to Hanbury. It's good hands from the Widnes Viking. This is Simon Finnegan.
Great tackle by Joel Monaghan, right round the ankles.
And desperate defence required against the run from Cahill again.
Nearly got it down.
Just short of the line, Widnes. This is tackle number 4, Scott Moore. Scott Moore gets it to Hanbury. Hanbury gives it away, and they might be in for a try. Here they are. It is Christine who's got the first try for Widnes. Christine for the Vikings. He's played in the last 2. They got a try and a return from a 5-game absence in the victory against London. Formerly with Wakefield last year, and Christine has given the Vikings a dream start here at the Halliwell Jones against the Wolves.
Applying the pressure, kicking to the corner, gave them another set of 6. And this is neat play. Throws the dummy. Really tried his damnedest, didn't he there, Ryan Atkins, but he didn't have the strength. Christine did. Quick hands there. Scott Moore did well, and then the offload underneath, gets it down. Great stuff. This is the kick into the corner. This is where Isa Finnegan did all the hard work. No way for Monaghan to get out of it. This is good stuff. Hanbury, the final pass, and Dean sets the Widnes fans alight.
Well, the goal line dropout came about as a result of good Widnes defence, but it actually probably should have been a goal line dropout anyway, because Warrington had knocked on in the in-goal area. Even though Monaghan caught it ahead of the man who knocked it forward, can't be offside in his own in-goal. Well, they might have lost O'Brien back to Warrington, but the goal kick has returned Arvan, and he has given them a 6-point lead.
Well, this is a terrible position for Chris Riley as a winger to be put in. Rhys Hanbury gets the ball, and he looks long. It looks like he's going to have to see. This is how the dropout comes about. Joel Monaghan catching it, referee ruling a dropout. Now Rhys Hanbury winds up to pass it long. Chris Riley as a winger has got a decision to make. Does he come in and help Brian Atkins, or does he watch for the intercept? Caught between 2 play, a rock and a hard place, I should say. He's made the decision to come in. He did have to cover the long pass. Difficult decision for Chris Riley.
O'Brien with the kick-off again, and here is Paddy Flynn. New extension signed to his contract this week at Widnes till the end of 2014. Great boost for the club. I know they think a lot of him. Well, Widnes leading 6-0. 5 minutes of the match gone. Moore goes down the wing again and finds Flynn, who cuts inside. Knew that he was probably heading over the whitewash if he stayed out wide. Hanbury turns the ball back to Cahill again.
This is adventurous play by Widnes. It really is rocking this Warrington defence. Looking for the dummy runners. There's a good kick there. Hanbury. Will it get the bounce? Yes, it does. They'll apply the pressure. It's in, bouncing around in the in-goal area.
Good chase. Williams, though, trying to work the ball forward. Rhys Williams only gets about 3 or 4 metres the right side of the goal line, but that's important for Warrington. Here's Chris Bridge now. Joel Monaghan at dummy half for them.
Well, it's swarming defence. You don't have to be Einstein to work out that that was their problem way down in the south of France last week. But they obviously have worked very, very hard in and around that play the ball area. It's so important.
Both coaches looking for a response here tonight after a defeat last weekend. Chris Hill for Warrington on the last tackle. Still inside their own 40-metre mark, and Myler with the kick over the top into the arms of Paddy Flynn.
Well, that's the second occasion they put him under pressure, Paddy Flynn. And I must say that he's certainly answered the call from his coach.
Here's Patrick Arvan. And he played the ball forward, is the view of referee James Child. Arvan feeling that maybe there was a bit of interference from Carvel.
Well, he certainly came across his line, didn't he, the big prop forward Carvel. He's a little bit unfortunate there, but not the best attempt to play the ball. Went sideways. Pedantic? Who knows?
They've done quite well, haven't they? They've got to 7 minutes really before they've had to do any real defending against Warrington, and this sort of position, their concentration levels have to be at the highest point.
Joel Monaghan operating in the centres tonight. Trying each of his last 3 appearances for the Warrington Wolves. Here is Ben Westwood. He's recalled to the side tonight after the one-match ban. He struck Lewaki at Wigan, you may remember.
Willie Isa came in, and it's come about with a knock-on, but I tell you what, Willie Isa really went into Ben Westwood. Westwood didn't like it, lost control of the football. Well, they're rattled. The Wolves are being rattled.
And Ben Westwood just looking over the top of the bunch of players in front of him. He's taken note of the number.
Nice and tight.
They didn't like it at all. I think it was a shoulder that Isa comes in with.
Come on.
Came in late.
Hold on.
There it is. There was the shoulder.
You two got to get tighter.
Mr. Westwood didn't like it.
Derby games are supposed to have emotion and passion, and that's clearly what Widnes are doing here now. They've got to play with that. You can see that it's a physically demanding sport, but they're able to get themselves here into that frenzied state that you have to be if you want to play rugby league.
Great tackle by Gareth Carvel. And they've got him for not standing square. Home crowd, the fans don't like it, but there's little doubt in my mind, and I'm sure a few of the viewers will have that same idea, is that Widnes are rattling the home side.
Well, they're here to try and rattle a few cages, there's no doubt about that. They've lost all 4 away games so far this season. The 2 wins have come on the new pitch, the I-pitch at the stadium. Hanbury gets the ball away. Allen will score under the sticks for Widnes. Dennis Betts, can he believe what he's watching? Dave Allen on the fly, the Irish international. That's the 40th try of his 10-year career, by the way. His first of 2012. And Dave Allen. It's 10-0. The kick's in front of the sticks. It's going to be 12-0 in a moment. Is there a shock on the cards?
Red again, pressure, that's all you needed. Remember, they got the penalty, put them in a position there. This is where they lost the football. Ben Westwood, he was looking, he thought that he'd come in late. Willie Isa got away with it, but it was a good build-up there by the big prop forward, John Kite. This is great play. Dave Allen, he's not a comedian, but I tell you what, he's put a smile on the Widnes fan's face. What a beautiful dive underneath the sticks.
Wonderful celebration from Widnes as well. Dave Allen, his 10-year career began with Wigan under Dennis Betts at the start of his career. And here is Patrick Arban, bang in front of the sticks. This should be academic. This should be a 12-0 lead. Taking his time. Time goes back on as Arban just knocks the ball nonchalantly over the top. And look at this, Warrington 0, Widnes 12.
Well, they're going to be disappointed with this, the Warrington Wolves, when they look at the video and see how they could have solved this, how they could have done better in defence. Yeah, Steve O'Connor, he'll be delighted with the start that his Widnes side put a lot of money into the side. They've had a difficult start to the Super League season, but he will be over the moon with this against their local rivals, with Dave Allen scoring. Gareth Carvel making the decision to jump in. Well, if somebody jumps in and dives in defence, every man outside him has got to follow in and go in hard. Warrington failed to do it on that occasion.
Well, they needed a lift, Widnes, coming into this match rather, and in the opening 10 minutes, boy, have they got it. It's another drive forward by McGrath Lulawai. They're up for the challenge, the Widnes Vikings. The ball is sped out wide forward, though, to Patrick Arban.
Well,
That's a mistake from Cameron Phelps.
They're trying, aren't they? They have come here and they are showing no fear whatsoever. You can see quite clearly the shape of the arms, and it was leaving, it was just going forward, just drifted. But they're testing it, they're trying everything, run around, little short passes, then the long one out wide.
But now this is a big test coming up now.
Yeah, they've got to defend.
Atkins trying to get through. Hanbury gets to him and brings him down with a bit of help from Christine. Brett Hodgson, referee says play on. Hodgson going down the short side, and they get him. They don't manage to roll the Warrington skipper over the sideline. Myler And Hill met head-on by Moore. Another knock-on.
Scott Moore has given it all there. The big fella, Chris Hill, feels this. Bang! Come to daddy.
Well, we're seeing a familiar pattern for Warrington here, failing to control the ball, or maybe that one was ripped out in this occasion, but the 12-0 down again here. They were 12-0 down when we saw them play against Leeds, 22 points to 0 down before things got going when they played against St Helens. I guess sooner or later they'll want to start games better and not have to keep coming from behind.
Well, the question is in this game, can Widnes keep up the fantastic tempo that they've shown us tonight in the first 12 minutes? They have started this game high tempo. They've decided to kick early in the sets, which is a sign they're full of energy and they're willing to put Warrington down the other end of the field and back themselves to defend down there. Let's see if they can keep it up for the 80 minutes.
Well, that's the big test. And that ball has come free. It's play on. Gareth Carvel has got it for the Warrington Wolves. That's an important turnover.
Certainly is. Now it's got the pressure. Should have been a penalty. Messing around there. Carvel, Johnny on the spot.
Here's Ben Curry. This youngster, Ben Curry, on his Super League debut. He's only 17 years of age. Now it's Bridge. They go wide to Monaghan. Patrick Arban deals with that particular threat. Catalan 10-0 up at the capital against the London Broncos. Short ball, it's Chris Hill again. And round the ankles, an important tackle there by Luluai.
Richie Myler screaming for it, but they've gone on that short blind side.
They have with Chris Bridge, and he's halted just short on the last tackle here.
Good work by Craven, got underneath him.
Ian gets it, and the ball, that's an awful kick.
Put under a lot of pressure as well. Isn't it amazing? They get absolutely swamped with this Widnes outfit last week, and now they are putting in an absolute wonderful display so far, both in defence, and that's a swinging arm.
High shot by Westwood.
Well,
And it was Willie Iser who caught that one. Now, is that a little bit of afters for what went on before?
Oh, of course it is. Don't worry, this is rugby league at its best. That's all square now. Let's hope that the referee, James Child, just has a little word of warning both to Willie Iser and Ben Westwood and said, right, you've had your little go, you've squared up,
nothing to do with you.
get on with the game.
You get yourself involved.
Warrington yet to settle in this game. Benny Westwood just doing his very, very best to spark up his team, but he's got to be a bit smarter than that. He put in some early shots in the game and rattle the Widnes players. That's how he'll lead and lift his team tonight. He's giving Widnes too many chances to come down and attack the Warrington line.
Well, Ben Westwood made a note of number 4, Willie Iser, in the earlier incident.
He's got to forget it, Eddie. He's got to get back on
track.
track.
Well, he's paid him back now, as you say.
The big
This
question,
is Finnegan again for Widnes.
big question, Eddie, a lot of people before this game started, you know, how would Warrington fare without Morley, who has been in outstanding form this year?
Yes, he has, and of course he's hoping. Here's a penalty for Widnes.
Will they take the 2?
Morley hoping to extend his stay at Warrington when his contract expires at the end of this year. He's not here. Neither's Waterhouse, neither is Lee Breers. There is Adrian Morley, and there is Lee Breers alongside him. Here is Ben Cross, meanwhile.
They haven't gone for the 2. I thought they might have, especially with Patrick Arvan out there.
Confidence is high in the Widnes camp at the moment. And here is Hanbury, and it's Allen again. Good tackle by Myler. Hanbury, infield it comes. Little drive in again from Luluai. Moore, short ball. Cahill picked up and dunked down.
Super stuff by Westwood.
Moore. Oh, and he's got them now for offside. And this is the 5th penalty in quick succession that Widnes have received.
I'd take the 2 on this town. With a 12-point lead, they turned it down before.
Both you and Ben.
You're not going to win here, though, with 14 points.
No, but they keep taking away, mate.
Both feet you've got to be on the goal line, you're not.
Well, what signal has Dennis Betts given out?
There's a bit of indecision there, and he's going to tap it.
Well, I suppose they should. If they turn down the first one, they should tap it and run and go for broke. And that's what they're doing here. Scott Moore waiting at dummy half, gets the ball away again. He's just short of the line, is Luluai.
Neat play by Moore. One dummy, then the flick back on the inside. You don't see that too often.
Here's Hanbury giving it width. And that's Cameron Phelps underneath all of that. Moore again. We'll give it to Hanbury. And the ball is knocked forward, I think. They're going to be brought back. It was a knock-on by Warrington in defence.
I think Chris Riley knew.
Well, he set off and he looked over his shoulder.
Yeah, I think he knew deep down that perhaps he'd just got a fingertip to this. No, it wasn't. It was looked like Ryan Atkins that was the man that got the touch. Yeah, Ryan Atkins. I thought it was Riley to start with. He's the one that pulled it. Quite clearly.
Let's work out on the goal line, 2 feet.
Well, this is real pressure. This is where Warrington have to dig deep. They know a third try. That's going to be difficult to come back from.
Here's Willie Iser again, trying to go round the outside of Williams. Williams gets to him this time. And it's Ben Cross again. Great shout of forward from the terraces for Warrington fans. They're getting a bit anxious. That's a good ball. Here's Luluai again. They're asking some questions, Dennis Betts' men.
Are they ever? And Scott Moore is running the show.
Desperate defence from Warrington. They repel all borders on this occasion. And it's Simon Finnegan who'll play it again to Moore.
Look at the defence there. They've got the numbers there.
Lost it there.
Just lost it.
Sheer weight of numbers beat him then, Scott Moore.
He is here, there and everywhere is Mr. Moore. Just could not control it, as you say, the impact of 4 tacklers.
Well, it was a fumble rather than a knock-on, I think, because it looked to me as though Moore was actually facing his own line when he lost that.
Well, possibly now they've got a scrum. Dennis Betts sitting up in the stand will be looking down at his team and seeing that they're creating chances out wide. They're just picking the wrong pass at the moment. They're hitting the man short. We're out the back. The play out the back has got 2 or 3 men waiting and begging for the pass, and that's on both sides of the field, left and right. If they can find that pass, they might cause this Warrington edge defence some difficulties.
Well, that was a high shot there. Luluai really had the swinging left arm, and it was missed by the official. That's better from Carvel. That's what they need. We mentioned the fact they probably would miss Morley out there, and it's so important that the likes of Carvel and Westwood, and they've done their business.
That might have been deemed to be a flop by Willie Iser there on Gareth O'Brien. Here's the last one for Warrington. Oh, they've lost the way a little bit here, and Hodgson is the man who has to put the kick in. And that will stand up nicely for Warrington, and Cameron Phelps return and try and return with a little bit of interest.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, was it? It just went behind Carvel. Brett Hodgson got himself in a good position. Good kick and chase. He was the first man there.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the Warrington absentees. It's worth remembering here that Widnes have got the likes of Sean Briscoe, Ben Davis, John Clark, Anthony Watts, Ben Kavanagh, Steve Pickersgill, Thomas Coyle, Anthony Mullally and Stephen Marsh, all out, but not on selection. They're out injured. And here's another penalty to Widnes.
There's a couple of them made no attempt to come back. The required 10.
6-0 the penalty count in Widnes' favour.
Yeah, it's a lack of discipline by their home side, and Tony Smith fully aware of it. He also knows he's got enough experience, and I'm sure that the Warrington players feel it as well, is that they haven't had much opportunity, not good field position. It'll swing away. It normally does.
Move, Chris!
Moore is waiting at dummy half for the Vikings. Gives the pass behind them to Craven. Oh, there's an obstruction.
Yeah, and he knew
the
it.
first penalty for Warrington.
And he knew it as well. Danny Craven. Finnegan coming through there, and as soon as he made contact, there was no doubt in the mind that it's got to be Shepherd.
He's only started 2 games, picked as a half-back, scrum half or stand-off this season, and I guess he's still learning that role. A lot of pressure on him at the moment to create something when his team get into a good position, and that was, of course, the first mistake that he's made.
Here goes Hyam trying to burrow his way through this Widnes defence. Now Carvel again will drive it in. That's a good hit on him.
Boy, this is eating up. This is going to get red hot soon.
Neat little sidestep there from O'Brien. Here is Bridge, and Warrington are on the scoreboard. O'Brien opened them up. And Bridge was there to support and get the ball down for Warrington's try that will settle one or two nerves. But Gareth O'Brien, he was playing for Widnes this time last week, and he's come into the Warrington team tonight. He knows all about the Vikings then, and he found the key, unlocked the defence, and Bridge over for the try.
Tremendous work as well. The first opportunity, but this was the break. Kept on going, back on the inside. Determination, and Bridge has gone in for it. But you can go back to the build-up to that. The two runs by the forwards. First by Westwood, then by Hyam, put them in that position. They looked a better side, more determined. They took a leaf out of the book of what Widnes had shown. And boy, this is boiling up.
So Bridges' try, it actually is his fourth of the campaign. He was a substitute against St Helens last week, the first time he was on the bench in 2 years. Hodgson adds the extras. Warrington are on the board, 6 points to 12. But after the try was scored, Warrington went for a meeting with Tony Smith on the sideline.
It's like an American football coach taking a timeout. He's decided to get his players together. Totally unhappy, I guess, with the first 20 minutes. And it's very rare that you see a coach in a league do that. But he must have felt it's necessary at this stage.
Well, I imagine he would be telling them just to calm down a little. They're just a little edgy in their play, and he has mentioned that in the previous week's games. He hasn't been happy with the way they've started the games. What he will be happy with is Gareth O'Brien's contribution there. What you want from your halves, whether you're playing 7 or 6, is to be a run threat first of all, and that's what Gaz O'Brien was on that occasion. Challenging the defence with a run before thinking about the pass. He was rewarded with a try for Chris Bridge underneath the sticks.
Gareth Carvell for Warrington then. This man is leading from the front, and what's more, his run has drawn a penalty from referee James Child. Well, the penalty count not exactly evening up, but neither the scoreboard. But that's the second in quick succession for Warrington.
Good, hard, solid work there by Gareth Carvell. And they were a little bit slow to just get themselves sorted out, Widnes there. Well, a flying start, raised to a 12-0 lead, and the Bridge try brought them back into the game, the home side. But they have upped the tempo, that is for sure. They looked a little bit sluggish.
Here now is Richie Myler. Gets the ball inside to Hodgson. That was a good tackle needed, and a good tackle came up from Lloyd White. It's Myler again, running laterally, finds the try scorer Bridge. Bridge with the strength, and Bridge will get his second try for Warrington. Well, whatever the meeting was all about on the sideline with the coach Tony Smith, it looks like it might have worked. Chris Bridge in the England squad. 8 from 11 goals against Widnes way back in August 2005 in a 60 points to 16 win. Tonight, Brett Hodgson has the goal-kicking responsibilities, and Hodgson has the chance here to level the score.
It's a sign of a very good side that can respond when you're down by 12 points. You can see there that they're looking a little bit tired, and they were slow to get themselves marked up. And this is a wonderful fend, isn't it? Get out of the way. You can't afford to let them run like that. And Myler had all the room in the world. Not the best, was it, from Isa? It was a great fend. And Bridge in for the second try. Well, they're in a hole, and I'll tell you what, they've got the dumper truck. They're filling it very quickly indeed.
2 tries from Chris Bridge, 1 goal from Hodgson. This much more difficult than the first he had from bang in front. And maybe a smile or two this time from Adrian and Lee, maybe not. They will be playing, I think, in the south of France on Monday. Although, who knows? Hodgson's kick. Magnificent kick from Brett Hodgson. The score the level. Warrington 12, Widnes 12.
Great advantage to have a man of this quality that put it through, and let's not forget the quality from this man as well. 2 tries in quick succession have turned it all around. They were a bit confused with the fans, the home ones that is.
Mentioning Easter Monday, Warrington are in the south of France. We're with them against the Catalan Dragons, 2:45, Sky Sports 1 HD. Of course, we have Good Friday coming tomorrow, and it's Hull KR, the big city derby at midday on 2 HD, followed by Saints and Wigan, 2:30 in the same place.
Mouth-watering, isn't it?
2 fabulous, well, 4 fabulous games this Easter.
I can't wait. And this has got off to a flyer, hasn't it?
I just wonder though now, Steve-o, 25.5 minutes, Warrington up to speed. Do you think Widnes might have shot the boat?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's important. Remember, we said that the possession will sway one way or the other as this game progresses. They've got to make sure that their defence is solid, and at the moment they're all over the shop.
O'Brien's pass out wide, Bridge on a hat-trick. Forward pass to Monaghan.
They're all cheering, but they've all got to come back. A little wry smile on the face of Tony Smith, the coach. And I think you'll find that that is absolutely spot on, a forward pass. But you can see that this Widnes defence is starting to crumble. Patrick Carvan was all over the shop. He was in the centre position. There was a huge gap out wide.
Tony Smith gathered his troops in, and they had a word after the first try, Eddie. And I think what he's done is he's left the same team out there, and he said to them, 26 minutes in, I'm not yet going to make a change. I want you guys to fix up the mistakes that you've made in those opening minutes. You got yourselves back to 12 all, and I trust you to go on further.
Well, you made the point, Eddie, didn't you, that perhaps, you know, as this Widnes side run themselves ragged early in the piece, a little bit like a boxer, you know, all the adrenaline in the opening couple of rounds, has it just taken its toll? This chase will tell something. If you hang him back.
Rhys Williams trying to get the ball upfield for Warrington. The common theme in their 2 league defeats so far for the Wolves, they have conceded points early. 12-0 down at Leeds, 22-0 down against St Helens. 12-0 here tonight, but they're back on level terms now.
The other thing that happened a lot in that game, which hasn't happened as much tonight, Eddie, was what Warrington, particularly inside their own half, coming up with handling errors, turning the ball over to their opponents. Less so here tonight. And when you go back to the last try that Warrington scored, there was no magic to it. Willie Icy just didn't do enough to slow down Chris Bridge when he went through, and that's a 1-1 miss.
That was a one-on-one hit though by Lloyd White. Here is Brett Hodgson again. Gets the ball back on the last to Riley. There's the charge down. It's going to be 6 to go here. And it is. And it's gathered in by Gareth O'Brien.
Well, a little bit messy. Warrington got away with it. But the one thing that it's significant over the last 10 minutes is the influence of Richie Myler. He is now starting to ask the questions. He's running from dummy half and taking the first receive and creating a few little dummies.
Iron to Westwood. Westwood gets the ball away brilliantly to Iron. And Lloyd White with a desperate tackle under the sticks. Here's Chris Hill. Back it comes to Myler. Myler to Atkins. Atkins wide to Riley. And Riley, a great try. He sent 2 defenders the wrong way and cut inside. And Chris Riley, the 80th try of Chris Riley's career, we have just watched. Ever present so far. And Chris Riley, his 6th try of 2012, but a career milestone for the young man. 80 tries now in his rugby league career.
All came about by a tremendous offload by Ben Westwood. Charging down the centre of the field. He got a little bit of the rub of the green there. Not the best kick from Riley, but it put him back to 6 more. And the quick hands out wide. Atkins, superb. Nice step though, wasn't it, by Riley? And they know they were caught out. This is where it all started. Westwood to Mickey Hyam. Quick play the ball, they get on with it. And Atkins' final pass, but what about the step there? You can't ask anything more from a winger of this quality. And the neat little sway of the body and the step off the left foot. It looked all so rosy, didn't it? About 15 minutes ago. Not anymore.
Yes, 12-0, they led after 10 minutes. Here we are now, and we've had 3 quick tries from Warrington, and the Wolves have the advantage, and maybe more to come by the boot of Brett Hodgson.
And I suppose whilst Widnes have stood waiting to watch this kick, they'll be having to talk about the things that they need to do here to prevent 3 tries becoming 4 or 5 very quickly.
And Hodgson makes no mistake whatsoever. From 12-0 down to 18-12.
The Wolves have just started to play the game faster, didn't they? They up the tempo, and at present, some of the Widnes players can't cope with playing the game that quickly. They've had a lot of the ball to start the match. They shouldn't be really fatigued at this stage, but the speed and the offload game from Warrington started to punch a few holes in this Widnes defensive line.
So here we go again then. The boot of Reece Hanbury restarts straight to Richie Myler. I think he's been outstanding over the past month or so, Richie Myler, in defence. At Wigan the other week, he was absolutely all over the place for Warrington. He was tackling like a demon. Hodgson to Atkins. That's a good tackle from Paddy Flynn. Riley. And a little grab by Flynn was enough to put him off. So Widnes have it back in Warrington territory. Lloyd White. Here comes Ben Cross. Hep Cahill, tackled by his opposite number, Ben Westwood.
He's on fire, isn't he, Westwood? I suppose the last thing that the opposition want to do is to sort of give him a hard time in the opening few minutes, and it came by courtesy of Willie Isa. And from that moment on, Ben Westwood's been on a mission.
Atkins got a good shot in as well on Allen. Here goes Hep Cahill, gets the ball away. Hodgson had to do manful job in defence on Cameron Phelps. Lloyd White 10 metres away, the Widnes Vikings, little slip pass. It's Ben Cross. Cross making a bit of history tonight. He's played Leeds Bradford, he's played Wigan Saints, now he's playing this derby. And it's Hanbury. Warrington have shut the door in defence. It's the last tackle here for the Vikings. Kick goes wide, into the air, it's clutched and dumped over the top and straight to the Warrington hands of Joel Monaghan.
Great kick by Danny Craven, but they couldn't take advantage of it.
Important now, this set for Widnes. While they weren't able to score on that occasion, they need to keep Warrington down this end of the field and not let them up easily or give a penalty away. This will be crucial in the context of this game.
Here comes Chris Hill again. Gets as far as Cross. And that's Paul Wood who's out there. I think he might be the first change that Tony Smith has made, just giving Gareth Carvell a breather. Kick downfield from Gareth O'Brien.
And it's a beauty as well.
And it's a bit of a laboured chase from Paddy Flynn.
Oh, look at the shirts there, and look at that tackle.
Move!
It's Myler again.
Right. You were saying, Eddie, is the fact that you know, a lot of people have been critical of Myler, perhaps not asking enough questions with ball in hand, but you certainly can't fault him in that defensive pattern.
Quick play, the ball by Widnes, that's what they needed. Wood with a bounce off the man carrying the ball, Cameron Phelps. London fighting back against the Catalan Dragons. Kicking early in the tackle count, Widnes, very early. Look where they turn this possession over.
Brilliant,
right on
brilliant kick.
The Warrington goal line. And the chase isn't bad.
And that's what they needed. They realised that over the last 4 to 5 times that Warrington have had possession, they've been able to get over the halfway line. That gives them in a good position to control the kick.
That could have been a flop. That really could have been a flop then. Alex Gerrard came in very late. He's involved in this tackle as well. Here's Hyam. Hodgson. Atkins. Riley's outside him. Oh, and Riley gets away from Hanbury but can't get away from the next two in.
That'll be a good kick from Myler.
Last one. It's a bit deep, but it's high, it's got the height. Arvan's made the call and Arvan pouches it. And Patrick Arvan will try and run the ball back. This close season capture from the Bradford Bulls.
Move! Marcus!
Another change here by Warrington coach Tony Smith. Michael Cooper is on. There he is, number 17. Just run through your screen.
Play on, play on.
Well, they're getting back into the swing of things, Widnes now. There was a good build-up. In a good position to make sure that the kick and chase, the one before it was good. Will they go down that right-hand side? Yes, they will.
Hanbury with the kick deep into the corner, but it just has a little bit too much length on it.
Well, he
come
had
back to the 20-metre mark.
He had the backspin on it, did Rhys Hanbury. Well, it's been hectic, that's for sure. It's given value for money, and some of this defence, it's pretty cruel out there. It's a real derby.
Very good opening 35 minutes.
Play on.
Westwood taking it forward here for the Warrington Wolves. Last meeting here in Super League 7 years ago, also at Easter, also on Sky. Warrington won 44-12. Here they are, and they are. That's great hands. That was great hands from Myler. And is that a knock on by Widnes? I think it is. Hanbury just couldn't get to it.
Yeah. Well, you get the feeling now that Warrington, after that shock 12-point deficit, they've come back, and they're now trying a little bit too much, perhaps.
Just careful on your timing on that tackle. Be careful on the timing.
They may be feeling confident enough to say, well, we've raced to an 18-12 lead. We've got that confidence. We can start trying a little bit more.
What they need to do, Steve, now, Widnes I'm referring to, is back themselves to keep Warrington out before the half-time whistle. They'll be disappointed to concede another try. 18-12 at half-time. They would have taken that, I'm sure, before the game. These next 5 minutes will be important for them.
Hyam taking the line on and taking the tackle. The second, this set of 6. Myler, Paul Wood. Up the middle he goes.
Just shows you the influence of what hookers do this year. Mickey Hyam again. Great work.
And Ben Cross was not standing square, says referee Child.
Well,
it's a penalty to Warrington in front of the sticks.
They'll go for the tap here.
Yes, not in any mood to take the 2 on offer. Wide and forward. Looking for Williams. But it was a forward pass. Richie Myler just drifts forward.
He had the option.
Get hold of it anyway.
No, he had the option as well. He had Joel Monaghan very, very tight on that short pass. He knew that either way there was a golden opportunity to score the try. But just making the point, remember at the start of this game, the first 15 minutes, it was Scott Moore for Widnes, the hooker, controlling things. Now it's been taken over by Mickey Hyam. Such an important position when you take charge of the play the ball area.
No, Eddie, I wonder before the game, if you really asked or had a test to find out with the Widnes players, how many of them believed that they could win here tonight? I, hand on heart, don't think many of them actually did. But do you know, in the last few minutes, they've just seen signs from Simon Finnegan there now. There's almost a confidence and a belief growing in this side here. They are 6 points behind, but they know that they're in this here, and this is going to be a competitive match if they stick to doing what they've been doing.
40 metres away from their own line, 4 tackles gone. Widnes played the ball. And the pass, oh, it's a high tackle here. The pass went
slightly
inside.
Forward. Slightly forward. It's been the pattern of their play throughout this game, though, from Widnes. That very short pass.
Short pass from Haggerty.
Westwood didn't miss either. Just a little bit over the top, into the chin. Not into the nose, but it's still a penalty.
This is Dave Allen. Lloyd White is waiting, formerly with Crusaders, of course. White, the club that Widnes replaced in Super League this year.
Hanbury, will he look for someone on the inside?
Here is Hanbury. And he gets the ball away, and they go wide. Not the best. Again, another forward pass. They're both trying to force it, aren't they?
Under pressure, though, by the defence, to be fair. Phelps coming into the line from the full-back position, but just couldn't get it away. Disappointment.
Frustration for Dennis Betts.
He knows they got off to a flying start, and oh, what they would give for a try just before half-time. But they've got to make sure that defence, and also their discipline. Can't afford to give Warrington a good position just before the break.
Well, he said, Dennis Betts, they would come here and they would compete. And they have competed for 39 minutes. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
They don't want. They've now got a penalty going against them. I was about to say they don't want to concede another try right on the bell, but this is an opportunity for the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, the big problem.
Oh no, it isn't.
Well,
because Myler hasn't found touch as you're watching the replay. Van has it for the Widnes Vikings. That's a big error.
Certainly is. He was just a touch greedy. That was a huge let-off for Widnes.
He went for a lot of length there, Richie, didn't he? Finnegan waiting at dummy half. 40 seconds remaining in this opening half. That's Willie Isa, the Samoan. Plays the ball on halfway. Loose pass, picked up though by Dave Allen. And Mike Cooper makes sure he's not going too far. Ben Curry finishes him off as well.
Not taking any dummies.
Kurt Haggerty goes down. That's the last. Lloyd White, 10 seconds remaining. It'll go high off the boot. Here we go. Hodgson waits for this. Claims it excellently, absolutely safe, despite the pressure that was coming in on him from Cameron Phelps. Half time. A contest that a lot of people weren't predicting. The bookies, for instance, were saying this was a 41-point ball game as far as they were concerned. That is that Warrington would win by that sort of margin. But the Widnes Vikings have come here and they have given them the fright of their lives. They led 12-0. They trail at half-time 18-12. But we have